G'day everybody, Ed here, and I want to continue my series on the new internet marketing. But today, something, very sad to me and sad to the entire internet marketing community happened, and that was the passing of Gary Halbert. It's weird even saying it. Now, for those of you who don't know, I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for Gary. I actually had the, some would say, honour of living with Gary and learning from him. He was my major mentor. Through him, I met amazing people like John Carlton and just really got a cut through the rubbish view of marketing that will stay with me for as long as I live. All of this here, really, I can directly trace back to the influence which Gary had on me. And it's really hard to talk about it. And I was thinking about what I can do. He hated video, I might add. He really, and in fact, the last conference that he ever did, I'm very thrilled to say that it was the Underachiever Conference last year, where Frank and I flew Gary out from Miami to San Diego, and because we were having all the people who influenced us, and it just wouldn't be the same if Gary wasn't at the top of that list. And so I was thinking about what I could do, and I thought about trying to write something, but really, writing something about the Prince of Print, the guy who, literally wrote the book, I feel, on the you and me talking style of writing. Could write and cut through concepts, because it wasn't just him as a copywriter. It was him as just this extraordinary ability to look at any business and get to its essence in seconds. So anyway, this, I think for the next couple of videos, I want to go back to the old marketing. In other words, the fundamental stuff that I learned from Gary that will never change. And there are probably dozens, but I think I want to focus on 5 over the next couple of weeks as we digest the fact that I can't pick up the phone and speak to him anymore. Which sucks. The first lesson that I want to preserve on YouTube here for Gary Halbert wisdom is definitely the theory of the starving crowd. He had a great story, and the Gary Halbert newsletters, which I'm thrilled to say will continue. It sounds as though they'll continue to be up and you can continue to look at them. But he tells the great story about people wanting to set up a restaurant, and people were asking, what are the key elements of setting up a restaurant? Was location, was it menu, was it opening hours, was it all of these sorts of things? And as Gary pointed out, it was none of those things. There was one factor, and one factor only, that he wanted to see, and that was a starving crowd. Classic example of him cutting through. And when you think about it, it makes so much sense. And the key fundamental that all of that comes out to is market first. One of the biggest mistakes that people make, forget internet marketing, in business full stop, is they don't understand the market. They think of a product, they think of a service first, and they don't think about whether the market actually wants it or not. And in the wonderful world of internet marketing, there's just no excuse. You can actually ask your particular marketplace what it is they want to buy and determine whether your product has any chance of making sales without spending a cent. And that's a wonderful thing about internet marketing, but it comes down to Gary's key lesson of the starving crowd. If you don't have a starving crowd in your niche, people that are raving fans that want to buy something or have a big problem that they need to fix ASAP, then you're going to spend a whole lot of time and effort for no work. Hey look, I'd encourage you, if you've learnt something from Gary, I'd really encourage you to do what I'm doing and pop up a video. See over here, I hope that's the right way, ends up being the right way, it could be over here. Tag your YouTube video as Gary Halbert and talk about what you have learnt from Gary, because I think it'd be great to have you know, Halbert nuggets preserved in this forum. I think it's a great way to do it, and just another way to really honour really, in my view, the most important direct marketer. With that, thank you very much. Appreciate it if you would hit the old rating button below. And look, thank you very much. And by the way, incredible support I've got from people, from emails and stuff. Thank you so much, and I will pass those on to the family. It's really good. But look, this is not a buying thing. This is not a selling thing. YouTube's an incredible archive, and I think there's nothing better than people telling stories about things that they learnt from people such as Gary. So give it a shot. It'd be a good chance for you to get up and do that. Just remember to tag Gary Halbert, so when people search, your video will come up. Alright, we'll speak soon.